Hey everyone, and welcome to the 10K in 30 Day live weekly webinar. I'm your host, Vanessa Simpkins from TakeYourPowerBackNow.com. And you're in the right place if you're a coach, a healer, consultant, speaker, author, expert. Maybe you want to be a coach or consultant or a busy professional. Today we're talking about how to kickstart your own time freedom formula. Maybe you're an entrepreneur, or maybe you're kind of working on starting that journey and your plate is full, it's so full, and where's your free time and where's your fun time? So today we're going to talk about some amazing time management tips. We're going to talk about how to kickstart your own time freedom formula. And we have an amazing guest here, Amy Engelmark. Welcome, Amy.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yeah, another cool Canadian, and I'm going to introduce Amy special for you guys. I'll give her a real introduction. She's an awesome chick, and she works with, well, actually, she's working on her book, the upcoming book, From Burnt Out to Bliss, 30-Day Challenge to Creating More Freedom, Fun, and Balance for Busy High Achievers. She's a certified life coach, a stress management consultant, and professional speaker. She specializes in helping high-achieving entrepreneurs, raise my hand, that's me, and business leaders to avoid burnout and increase free time. She teaches proven strategies to boost health and productivity, and she's worked with healthcare professionals, financial advisors, lawyers, teachers, media hosts, realtors, marketing specialists, veterinarians, mortgage specialists, draftswomen, and other high achievers to help them regain more fun and balance their lives. And you can find out more about her on her website, amyengelmark.com. So welcome, Amy. It's so great to have you here as a guest on the 10K in 30 Day live weekly webinar.
Thanks. I'm super excited to share and to be live with you, California, West Coast of Canada. It's super fun to be together.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna hand over the controls to you and let you roll with it. I know you have some amazing content to share with us, and I'm super excited because my life is crazy, my business is crazy, and we can all use more balance and fun and freedom. So I'm really excited to just hand that over to you and let you take it from here.
Okay, great. Thanks. You just let me know when everyone can see me.
We can all see you, and I'm actually that's a great idea. Let me just do a quick little tech check to make sure that you guys are all here and you can all hear us and see us. If you want to just type in your name and where you're from in the chat box, and that will let us know that all this amazing technology is actually working. That would be awesome, and Amy can take it away.
Hi, everybody. Looking forward to seeing where you're from, what your names are. And then after I just tell you a little bit about myself, I'll tell you what we're going to cover, what I'm going to share with you, and what you'll leave with. And stay to the end because I have some special goodies to give to you.
Awesome. Lisa's here from England. Kai is here from New York City. Bobby's here from Courtney.
Hi, Bobby. Hi, Lisa.
Yay.
Hi, Kai. Awesome, wonderful. Okay, so Vanessa shared a little bit about me. I'll share a little bit more with you. I'm also a mom of 2 boys. They're 8 and 10, and I'm married. I got married pretty young, unexpectedly. Ran into this man and thought, I think he's my husband. So I'm married to a wonderful man. My boys are very outdoorsy. Our family loves to spend lots of time outside. Got into coaching because I just noticed I really needed some time management skills for myself as I was learning how to juggle all the different roles in my life. I started seeing as I applied everything that I was learning from my coaching training into my private clients' lives, what a change was starting to take place. And the transformations that I was experiencing in my life, they were starting to experience as I started to share the tools with them that I was learning. So I mainly work with CEOs, business leaders, community leaders, business owners, people who are high achievers. They have a lot on their plates. So this could be you or someone that you know. And I help them kickstart their health. So get back to where they want to be, or maybe to a place that they've never been but know they can be, to decrease their stress levels and feel amazing, energetic, and happy again, and also to really increase productivity, which therefore increases your prosperity. Super exciting. So it's very, very fulfilling work. What we're going to cover today, I'm really excited to share with you. So excited that I can feel it in my hands. We're going to talk about the time freedom formula. So that involves showing you how you can take more time off consistently, not just here and there when you're really super burnt out. Also, how you can increase your productivity. And so I'm going to share my slides with you, and we'll get into the training portion of the webinar. Let's go.
Yeah, and before you start slide sharing, Amy, I'm just intrigued if we can have maybe some people that are joining us live type in some of the issues that you have maybe with time management, or what are your big questions, or what are some of the things that you struggle with?
Sure, that would be great.
Yeah, what are your biggest struggles when you think about time management, or managing your business, or maybe managing other people, or finding time to go to the gym, or finding time to, be healthy? What are the big struggles that you're facing right now when it comes time to those areas? Let us know. Type it in the chat box. And I'm just curious. One's curious. Go ahead, Amy.
I'm going to have a sip of my drink while you guys take a sec to share with us.
Yeah. Looks like you're having some yummy green drink. What are you drinking over there? I'm curious.
It is a mineral drink, but it's sweet. It's good. It's good for after workouts. Vanessa and I have just come home from the gym.
Yeah. A gym, I try and go every morning. If I go to the gym, I have an amazing day. If I don't go, I'm like, I'm more productive actually when I come back from the gym, and I have my smoothie. And then this morning I had quinoa with guacamole and arugula.
Yum.
Yep. So we're gonna. There's a little. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I have to get my mind around salad for breakfast, but I'm sure it's good, and I love arugula and avocado.
Yeah, I eat a lot of it in Hawaii. We're going to give people a few minutes, and I'm really going to encourage people, if you're here on the webinar, show up and participate. I say this all the time, and I really do mean it. 90% of success is just showing up. You could have, 2 of our brains here to help you and support you in any way possible, and the best way is to really show up. So Kai says, actually relaxing when it's time to wind down. Right. Aligning intent with mindset and actions. Awesome. Yeah, so we want to hear from you. What are your biggest struggles when it comes time to, taking time off from your business, maybe getting your health on track, your, downtime. I'm the first one to admit it. When it's time for me to take downtime, it's really hard. Actually, there's a long to-do list, and it's all exciting. It's all great. You're in your business, and you find that. Maybe you can have a job instead of a business. So what are you struggling with? While people are taking time to type that in, Amy, I'll let you take it away.
Alrighty. Great questions, Kai. Thanks for sharing. I'm already starting to write notes for you. All right, so let's get going. I'll share my screen with you. Here we go. So this is me. If you haven't met me yet, I kind of stand out because of my red hair, and it's a really fun and easy way for me to find my children in a crowd is by looking around for the redheads. We've got 2 redheaded boys, and my husband even has red in his sideburns. So this is me. Like I said, in my coaching conversations, I help my clients conquer their stress, kickstart their health, and enjoy more free time. And what we're covering today is the time freedom breakthrough formula. So what it is systems that you set up in your business to allow you more freedom and more income. The formula allows you to take more time off consistently for fun, rest, and better health. And inside this system, you start implementing time management skills, boundary setting skills, and you learn to delegate more effectively. It also involves training your staff and teams to become productive team players, all focused on the vision of your company or your business. So the focus of my work is helping entrepreneurs and leaders. And the way I do that is through workshops that are live, or through my own webinar series I'll tell you about later, through private coaching, group coaching, consulting, and my joy is to see people actually achieving the goals that they set their hearts and minds to, because the people that I work with are very committed to taking action and creating profitable businesses and really prosperous personal lives as well. This is the lifestyle that has allowed me to have so much fun with my family. So much fun. I absolutely love traveling. So a picture of me on the left is in Mexico. All the rest of the pictures are on the island of Kauai. And we have had so much relaxing time, so much time to really connect as a family, and for me to be refreshed and rejuvenated, for me to give my all to my clients when when those breaks are done. So the top 3 people that I work with are service professionals. Those could be realtors, financial investors, sales professionals, lawyers. The second group is healthcare professionals. So I work with a lot of doctors, experts and specialists, dentists, nurses, people who are real caregivers at heart. The third group is business and community leaders. So those might be mayors, people who are inspirational leaders and experts. They could be people who are overseeing a large group of staff or a large team. People who are making a big impact. So I'm going to show you during this time together today what this time freedom breakthrough is all about. So what is this formula? How has it impacted my clients' lives? You're going to get to see into 3, maybe 4 of my clients' lives to check it out for yourself. I need to warn you beforehand that if you take ordinary action, then you will get ordinary results, which is boring. You don't want to stay where you already are, or you wouldn't be watching this. So if you're willing to work for what you want, I can completely and totally help you. I work with clients who take massive action and are committed to getting the results that they want, just like these that I'm about to show you. This is not a picture of my client, but this is how he felt when he started working with me. He is, he oversees a lot of people. He has teams locally, he has teams far and wide that are in his area of leadership. He started working with me, and within the first 3 weeks, he started to see big changes, which was really fun for both of us. He came to me because his health was low. Over the past 2 or 3 years, he was suffering because he wasn't fitting in time for exercise. He wasn't eating breakfast on a consistent basis. He wasn't eating healthy because he wasn't meal planning with his wife for their family. So he would eat out a lot. And he also really wanted to create an excellent culture in his organization, instead of a mediocre culture that just accepted low productivity, low morale, low involvement in community events. So I started showing him, look, this is the formula I use. This is the system I can help you implement so you can have more time freedom, so you can spend more time with your family, so you can have better health. And he is such a go-getter, he ran with it. And that's what happens when you run with what I show you. You're going to see results much faster than if you slowly take your time. You're going to see the results, but just not as fast. He started going to the gym 3 days a week and just made it happen, like bang. He started taking every second Friday off and plans to take more time off. He's spending more time with his wife, and his wife is like, wow, what's happening to you? I'm so proud of you. In the first 3 weeks of working with me, he noticed such a big turnaround in the productivity of his team. And so he's happy to report that to me, but in that same week that he had the highest productivity he'd seen in a long time with his team, he was only in the office for 2 days. And other than that, he was gone. He was either,
this is a really funny paradox, right? That you work less and you actually produce more. And this happens when isn't that a funny thing when you take time off? It's like, it's totally the opposite of what you think. You know, I'm going to not get much done, but when you come back to your work, you're so much more, I guess, re-energized, right? That you do more. No resistance there.
Yeah, and I think he tweaked a few things too about how he was training his staff and leading them by example, and that really started taking root in the team.
Yeah.
So that their focus was, you know, more excellent as well as his. Yeah. So those were his results. And he started to noticing a shift in his company culture towards that of excellence instead of mediocre. So that is already starting to increase the income of the people that are in his company, which is super exciting. They're not all motivated by money, and not all people are motivated by money, but what's exciting too is his heart is so tied into the vision of the company that he sees them all being able to make such a bigger impact in their clients' lives because of how cohesive they're becoming.
Yep. And I love that, you know, you got to be the leader. If you want other people to do what you're doing, you have to do it first. So it's not like you can, you know, do what I tell you to do, not what I do, but do what I, you know, tell you to do. This is real leadership. It's you doing it first.
Yeah.
He's able to empower his staff.
Yes. Yeah. So I'll hop into another testimonial of a client of mine. She is a physician, and when I met her, she had one son. She was together with her husband, and she was working full-time as a family doctor. And she had very low self-worth at the time because of what she was believing about herself and what she would say to herself out loud and in her head. So a very negative self-talk. And she just was feeling really out of balance. Her health had gone sideways, and she just wasn't making time for herself anymore. So,
which is so easy to do. I mean, you don't have to do. You don't even have to be a busy professional to feel the effects of that. You know, when you put yourself on the last end list of the priorities, it's so easy to do, especially if you're a mom. Right?
Exactly. Yeah, you can start thinking that everybody else around you is more important than you and should be getting more of your time and attention, and that it just gets out of balance, and you can become so successful in one area of your life, more common than not, I would say, more successful in your business or career side of your life, and let your family life, personal health drop off. Yeah. So what I started helping her with was shifting her mindset and her thought patterns to take a dramatic shift so that she was more positive than negative. So much so that one time her husband said, "Do you mind if I sit in on one of your sessions? I just want to see what you're doing because there's been so many changes for the better at home. I need to know what you're doing. I need to know how you're helping her." Awesome. So yeah, it was really fun. I've never had an observer during our coaching session.
I was intrigued, you know. I mean, that's great, because that shows that it's always nice. I mean, you're putting people's families back together, you know.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's a passion of mine. And it's an awesome byproduct when you work on yourself. Then your relationships become more delicious and enjoyable, and the connection becomes stronger at work and at home. So she started also to find time for yoga, and she was practicing yoga on a regular basis. She gave up eating so much junk when she was feeling low energy. And her stress levels really started to decrease because she was taking control of her mind instead of letting it run wild, which is the easier way to do things until you get into the new habit, remembering that you are in control of your mind. Yeah, so her thinking patterns shifted, and that really impacted her household and her marriage, and she was happier at work. So she's able to serve her patients more effectively and with more empathy and care.
Awesome.
Really cool. Yeah. Here's another testimonial. This is from a lawyer in the city of Vancouver, and she was feeling really out of balance as well because she was very successful at work and making lots of money and working her tail off too much.
Yep.
And she never figured out what's right. That's
I
you?
can relate. I remember a time when, I had a business, but my health wasn't in check and my relationships weren't in check. And I was like, who cares if you have money? Who gives a shit, if you don't have your health and if you don't have, the people around you that you want to have around you. And I made a decision. I was like, okay, I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. I committed to going and working out at like the crack of freaking dawn. And that boosted my energy. I wrote a book that summer. I mean, I got in the best shape of my life. I felt like so super sexy, and really, it was, I can relate to this, and I'm sure some people here listening can relate as well. Have you ever been, let's just ask, have you ever been so busy, that, and maybe, you have success in one area, but, the other areas are really like, 0 or a 1 out of 10, your business might be 7 or 9 out of 10, but, your relationships suck and your health sucks. And you're like, you wake up one day and you're like, what the hell? What am I doing all this for? That was a big wake up call for me. So I can relate.
Yeah. And I think when our lives are that out of balance, and I've been there too, we fear changing it for the better because we think that something's got to give. So if we become more balanced, then we're probably going to lose the success in our work life, which is a total lie, but it's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big gremlin. Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, this friend of mine, she was a friend and client, and she was really stuck in the mindset that she couldn't finish all of her work. So she had so much of it that she didn't know how she was going to meet all her deadlines without cracking and feeling really burnt out, totally depleted. Yet she just craved to have time for her personal goals and her spiritual goals, and to have that side of her life flourish, to have time for her family. She doesn't have kids or a spouse, but to have time for her extended family, like to be able to come over and visit her family when she doesn't live in the same place. So you need some extra time, some buffer time to be able to connect with the people that you love. So she made a big shift in her mindset that I helped her with, to transform some beliefs so that she could make time for her dreams and her spiritual goals and relate better to her coworkers because of the state of mind she developed. So her stress levels really decreased as well. And that was a really radical shift for her to find that key. Yeah. Super exciting for her.
Jesse and Kai absolutely agree. They're like, yeah, it's hard to keep an eye on your health. First thing to go when the responsibilities rise up. And I agree that getting in the best shape of my life was one of the best things I've ever done. Feeling that it's selfish, feeling that it's a selfish feat was a limiting belief that was great to eliminate. Yeah, congratulations, Kai.
Yeah, myself as well. When I am not looking out for me, it's not nice to admit, but I'm not as nice. I'm more impatient with my spouse and my kids. I don't like how I feel in my body as much. I can't think as clearly. So I'm sure a lot of you probably have those same negative effects show up in your life when you don't take care of your own needs. They're really important.
Yep. Especially when we get all bitchy and resentful. I mean, I remember my mom. I love my mom. God bless my mom. She worked the night shift. She was a nurse, and she didn't sleep much, and she had 2 kids, and she really didn't take such super good. She just got so resentful, and I vowed to myself, I'll never do that. And then lo and behold, catch myself working crazy hours sometimes. Stop. So I have my own little recipe for making sure that I keep keep my priorities, and it's important, right?
Yeah. So I'm just starting to read your note, Jesse. Yeah, we definitely are spiritual and physical people, and we need to make sure that we honor both of those needs. So that's what my work is all about, is the time freedom breakthrough formula. And I help people have those big breakthroughs. And sometimes it just takes small tweaks that you stay consistent with so you can form new healthy habits. So the formula takes the busiest schedule and helps you carve out time for yourself. Doesn't that sound good? Carve out time for your health and your family. And it makes delegating so easy that you can spend more time on tasks that allow you to make a larger impact with your time and your life. It helps you implement time management strategies so you don't overbook yourself, but rather feel energized every single day, not just on Mondays or the weekends. It offers you a blueprint to identify your highest priorities, the ones that when you focus on them will actually boost your productivity. And it equips you with tools to manage stress so that you treat others the way you want to be treated instead of treating them in a bad way, in a less than respectful way because you feel stressed. And it's based on proven results that have worked in so many of my clients' lives, in my life. So the winning formula, there are two types of people that I've noticed from working with many people, talking with many leaders. There are the first group, they're entrepreneurs and leaders who are really rocking it in their lives. They're managing their time so well that their stress levels are super low. Their health is really, really a high priority for them, and their productivity has consequently skyrocketed. Two, there's a group of people that are entrepreneurs and leaders who have some of those systems in place, but they're working way too hard and they're not seeing the results that they could be seeing in their businesses, their family lives, and their personal lives. So those people, that first group that are highly productive, they have lots of time freedom, they have great health, they're implementing two things. Those who are struggling have one or the other, or sometimes neither, in place. And once these two pieces are in place, it's pretty easy to create a lifestyle full of fun activities. Man, I'm sure we all would like to have more fun. Family time, adventure, productivity, and business success. So that's more prosperity for you and your family, more money to give away, more money to impact the world in a better way. So the number one thing that you need is the right mindset and the right awareness to say yes to opportunities when they present themselves. The second key that you need is the right systems in place to create a balanced lifestyle. Systems are key. One in which you have the freedom and flexibility to exercise, eat healthy, enjoy time with your family, go on dates with your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend, spend time with friends, pets, and have a very prosperous career or business life. Man, I'm getting excited. So that's what the time freedom breakthrough formula is all about. I live on the beach. I had this photo shoot on the beach just recently, and I really value life balance. I really value productivity, the marriage of productivity and free time at the same time. I used to believe that you couldn't have both. You couldn't have your cake and eat it too, but you can.
I agree. You know, mindset and systems are definitely the foundation for success. Can you share with us, Amy, some of the things that you recommend that your clients do, you know, to put those systems in place, or some tools or tips that can help people here to get started today, so they can start working towards their time breakthrough formula?
Yeah, totally. And I have more in my training, which is exactly that. So how to implement it and what you should focus on. So what this formula will help you do is break through some inner blocks that you might have that you might not even be aware of. It'll help you systemize your business and your personal life, create more of a fulfilling and consistent health plan, and it'll allow you to take time off to spend with family or do nothing if you want to do that. Before I get going, I want to make sure that you know that my website is amyengelmark.com, and you can head over there at any time if you want to bookmark that website and get access to my free gift. So you're going to get a PDF that comes to your email, and it'll just describe for you how you can defeat and overcome guilt and the feeling of being overwhelmed, and give you keys to creating more free time. So it's a little bit different than what I'm going to share with you today, and super valuable. So I really encourage you to hop over there and grab it.
Awesome. I just posted that in the chat for everyone.
Great. So the number one best way to create time freedom fast, in my opinion, from what I've seen through my experience, is delegating and outsourcing. This is my number one strategy to create time freedom. I love this funny picture of the king. You have to delegate some authority. So you need help. And sometimes asking for help is not a strong suit that you may have practiced in the past, but it's really important. It's the easiest, fastest way to create more time freedom and increase your productivity. It'll also help you boost the success of your business or company. It'll help you learn to trust others more with your vision for your family or your business. And it'll help you regain your sense of passion for your work because you won't feel so burnt out. You'll have more flexibility in your schedule. Yay! Both my hands are in the air. And it'll guarantee you're eating on the go and you're eating healthy daily.
Yeah, a lot of entrepreneurs ask me, when is it time for me to hire a virtual assistant? Like right away, right? If you're charging people, I don't know, $500, $1,000 an hour, $100 an hour, and you can pay somebody to get it done for $20 an hour or even $50 an hour, it's worth it.
Yeah, and I've experienced this for myself for sure. So again, more reasons to delegate. You won't have to do jobs that you don't enjoy because most likely if you're not delegating or you're not outsourcing to someone else right now, you are doing work that's really not in your strengths. It's something you might not even enjoy doing. So you'll be focusing on using your strengths and tackling more exciting challenges, which everybody would prefer to do. You'll increase your productivity while you are even away from work. You remember that first testimonial, the story I shared. And delegating puts you in the position of master of your business rather than slave to your company or business.
Yeah, and this is what everybody wants to do. You want to eventually get to the place in your business where you're not working so much in it, but you're working on it and managing people to do the job in it for you.
Yeah, and the freedom and even the freedom to breathe properly and deeply and have peace of mind is just so magnificent when you can hand over some tasks and take the pressure off. So in order for you to experience some results really soon, I mean like within this week, you need to choose to jump in and implement what I'm sharing soon. And I am not guaranteeing that it will be comfortable. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. I know this to be true. I'm sure Vanessa knows this to be true. Anyone who has wanted to and has acted on taking some big leaps and creating some big change for themselves, they have to get uncomfortable. But what I've learned is that discomfort is often a sign that you get right before you have a breakthrough.
Yeah, well said. And it's scary. I mean, hiring people, especially if you've had like something, someone in the past that you've hired that hasn't worked out, is it going to be the same thing? It is outside your comfort zone, but it's necessary.
And it's like learning how to trust and connect with others again, right? Yeah. Kind of like giving your baby over and trusting your vision. Okay, so here's the training portion of this key. So grab your pen and your paper if you haven't got it in front of you yet, or a journal. We're going to be taking notes in this part. So these are the things you want to delegate. The tasks that don't require you to use your core strengths to accomplish. So what are those tasks for you? What are those tasks that others could do that are more skilled at? Maybe you can get people to answer your phone. Maybe you can get people to answer your emails and respond. Maybe you can get people at home to clean or deliver really healthy food. What can you delegate that you don't necessarily like doing, that it's not your strong suit? And start with the small things. So delegate tasks that aren't deal breakers if they get screwed up. So it's easier to deal with a small screw up than a big one. So start small, and then your comfort zone will expand.
Yeah, I agree with this. When you're hiring people or, when you're working with somebody new, I like to give them small little tasks and see how they do and then reevaluate. Don't just give it all to them because you haven't really earned the trust and respect yet. Not the respect, but the trust.
Mm-hmm. So then you also want to give yourself time for cleanup afterwards if you need it. So if the job gets kiboshed and you're going to need extra time, a buffer, so that you can take care of it, then you have it, you've allotted that time. So often we go from meeting to meeting or task to task, and we don't give ourselves enough time in between to even mentally get ready to jump into a new job. Well, you need to do this when you're delegating as well. So maybe the job will get finished really well, and you'll know you can trust the person with more. And like Vanessa was saying, your respect for them grows and your comfort grows. So you need to put your wings down and you need to stop hovering. When you micromanage people, it affects your relationship with them. It affects it so much that they may not want to work with you. Or if you're in a loving personal relationship, it affects people if you're micromanaging because they can sense that you don't trust them. So it's really important that you stop hovering and always checking in and micromanaging. It's good to have some sort of structure for people to work within, but then also to give them freedom. So delegate also what's not visible. So back-end office tasks like I was talking about, cleaning, food prep, email. Super important if you're in business for yourself or you're in a leadership position to hire an assistant like right now. This should be at the top of the list.
One of the best things I ever did was get a cleaning lady. I mean, it changed my life. And same with a lot of my clients. Hire a cleaning lady. And my client's like, I resisted so much. Why did I wait so long? Oh my, you can get so much more done. Enjoy your weekends. No more cleaning.
And enjoy your clean house. Yeah, your clean floors, your clean windows. So when you hire an assistant, whether it's in business or your personal life, you need to develop a detailed system. You need to learn how to communicate really clearly. So whether you're writing it out for them, detailed instructions, make it detailed. This might take some time to develop what you need them to do so that it's really clear and they understand, because it's easy to assume that others know the way you want things done, but that assuming never gets you anywhere. So be very clear.
This is a really interesting point about delegating. I'm wondering, do you guys have any questions about outsourcing or delegating? Type them here in the chat. I want to hear from you, because it's a question that I get asked a lot as well. You know, when is it time? When is the right time? When is it too soon? How much should I pay? Where do I find them? You know, where do I find good people? Any questions you have about outsourcing, go ahead and type it in the chat box. This is really interesting, Amy.
Yeah, I think sometimes we don't start new habits because we feel like, oh my goodness, it's going to take so long. It's going to take so much thinking. It's going to take so much effort. I'm not going to start.
Yeah, it's too new. It's too much work. It's going to take too long. Oh.
But I've learned that hard work is really worth it. Like when you put in the hard work at the beginning, it may be a bit painful, but if you want your business to scale, then this is something you'll wish you'd done a long time ago. I really love this quote. It's a Chinese proverb that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is now.
Yeah.
So don't beat yourself up for not starting before this, but get help now, soon.
Yeah, and it's always good. It's time well spent when you're building systems. You know, training virtual assistants, training your assistants to do things for you. Time very well spent.
Yes, that first financial planner I was telling you guys about. That's what he was away from the office for. He was only in the office doing hands-on work for 2 days, and the other 3 days he was at different locations where he was in leadership position, and he was training. He was working face-to-face with his team. So it's just such a beautiful thing that happened there with his productivity increasing while he was away. And that's something that you may need to shift in your own thought life too, in your own mindset. What you think about will often happen. So your business will not fall apart if you're not there. Once you have a system in place, awesome. You just rinse and repeat. So Your business will not fall apart. My business will flourish. It's better to flip it around. What would you need to believe about your business, about yourself, about your spouse? What would you need to believe in order for life to be different, in order for you to be the ideal leader you want to be in any area of your life?
That's a great question.
Yeah, my business will flourish when I take care of my own needs. My business will flourish when I ask for help. The second key in the time freedom formula is to focus in, to prioritize what's truly important. And I'll show you how to determine what is truly important. Everything seems urgent. Everything seems important. So we'll talk about what are your true priorities and why is it so important that you prioritize. When you blame others or circumstances for your lack of productivity or freedom, the sad thing is that you're actually taking away your power to do anything about it, your power to change. So my encouragement for you today is to take control of creating the life that you want. This is kind of scary, but it's really exciting too, to know that you can create the change that you want in your life. When you prioritize, you're creating long-term freedom rather than short-term freedom. You know, it's tastier and more delicious and more satisfying to tick off small goals on your to-do list that make you feel good in the moment, but they leave you lacking when it comes to long-term time freedom. Like I said, everything seems urgent when it's not. Stress, feelings of burnout, irritability, impatience, they all rise when you put too much pressure on yourself and make everything urgent. So what I would encourage you to do is to prioritize the tasks that take the most time and effort first. These are usually the ones we put last because we don't want to do them. We don't want to make the effort.
That's the best. That's a great, right there is right there. You know, if you can just, I always look at any training that I watch and I look for one thing, you know, one thing. If I just get one idea, one thing, that one new thing to implement, one thing out of a training, it's, you know, it can totally transform your life and business. And this one thing right here, you know, I make a list in the morning of things I have to do today. You know, and I'm very visual, so I work off of a, you know, one of those cahiers with, you know, lines in it, and I, you know, I write down all the things I need to do, and then I go and I prioritize. Okay, what's the first thing I'm going to do? The second, third, fourth, and I write, you know, like a little circle with the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in it, let's say. And I love crossing things off, but I always put like the hardest, you know, the money tasks first, or the projects that, you know, that really they need to get done, because that's it, right? And it's so easy to put the things that you're not comfortable doing, you know, up to the end or to the end of the day, and then you just never get done because you're kind of pooped, you're wiped out, you're like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Right here, this is a great tip.
Awesome. Wonderful. Yeah, I would encourage you guys and gals not to try and implement 10 things from this training, but rather 1, 2, or 3. And stick with that. And then if there are other things you want to implement from the training, to go from there and then start on the 4th, 5th, 6th. Because it can be overwhelming if you try and create too many new habits at once. It's not something you can sustain.
Yep.
So when everything feels urgent, you need to identify the urgent versus the important. So I want you to, on your papers right now, I want you to draw a line through a fresh page. On the left at the top, I want you to write down the header of urgent, or needs immediate attention, or carries the highest value. And then on the right, you could put less important. So the left is urgent, or highest value. On the right is less important. I want you to identify some of the tasks every day that need immediate attention, or maybe it needs immediate attention this week, or it carries really high value if you could accomplish it today or this week. That goes on the left-hand side. The things that need to be accomplished, there's some sort of deadline. And then there's going to be a lot of things on the right-hand column that are still important, but it's okay if you don't get these things tackled and ticked off your list by the end of your work hours.
Yeah, kind of like the laundry, you know, these are things for me. I use them as little escapes. I'm like, I'm going to go and fart around, you know, I'm going to go and flap around. And
yeah, I'm being so productive. Look at me.
Yeah. I'm productive. They're not super urgent though. You know what I mean? Like,
No, but we lie to
more than
ourselves.
5 pairs of underwear. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're not going to die.
No, and the children can fold them when they get home.
Exactly.
Give some chores away. Delegate.
Right.
Yeah. So you have to know also when you're prioritizing when to cut, when to say enough is enough. And you probably can't get everything done on your list. So it's important to know when you're going to cut and say, okay, the rest of the jobs on my list, I'm going to transfer you over to tomorrow, right? You need to know when enough is enough and give yourself that break and that permission to stop.
Yep.
All right, we get into the boundaries training portion of the webinar today. These are some physical boundaries, and they're easier to identify and to really pin down than it is any kind of relational boundary or business boundary. We can see, oh, I've come up against this fence, I'm not allowed to go any further, or maybe the homeowner will come out and ask me to get off his land, her land. Oh, see, I've come to the edge of this cliff, and if I take another step, I'll fall in. So there's natural consequences to not having any healthy boundaries in your life. When it comes to business boundaries, things are a little bit more blurry, especially if you really love the work that you do, which I do.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to lose sight of the fact that you don't have to work 24/7 to be a success. Very easy to have very blurry work hours. You don't need to be available to everyone all the time, though. That's a dangerous part of not having healthy boundaries. Without boundaries, you're going to commit to everything, and maybe you'll even volunteer for more. It feels good. People love you. They accept you. They talk about you like you're just amazing, and your confidence feels great until they don't like something. They don't like some decision that you've made. So you can't base your self-worth on the acceptance that you feel from others. If you do commit to too many things, like Vanessa was saying, you start feeling resentment and blame. They can build up towards other people, and you can put the responsibility that you should be taking to change your life onto other people, like it's somehow their responsibility, which is like a joke could be made about that. I'm sure good ones have been made already.
Yeah, I mean, this happens a lot in, marriages and couples. This is classic what happens, right? It's your fault. Oh, it's yeah.
Okay, where is the seed of truth that I can apply to my own life? Let's take some personal responsibility. When you have healthy boundaries, what you're doing is you're actually taking responsibility for how you spend your time. And when you do that, it's not selfish or rude. You don't have to feel guilty about it. At some point, you'll need to stop caring what others think, or you're always going to be living to please others, which leads to an unfulfilling life. Some of my clients have told me that this is something they've really struggled with. Yeah. They've made decisions to please others for so long that they don't know how to make decisions to make themselves happy. So that's a shift that I've helped a lot of clients overcome.
So what are some examples of healthy boundaries? What are some examples that you've helped people put in place? I mean, I'm curious. I mean, I know it's going to be different for everybody, but give us some examples.
Some are as simple. They seem simple to talk about, but then you need to implement them. There's 2 steps to the equation. Some of them are as simple as a realtor that I worked with. He would wake up, and first things first, he would check his cell phone. And as soon as he checked his cell phone, he'd see that there was a new offer, or that he needed to do some paperwork for a client, or he needed to do something for someone. And he wasn't honoring his own needs for rest, relaxation, and family time in the morning before he started his day.
Yeah.
So he decided that with some suggestions on my part, that he was going to have cell phone and device free time on a daily basis. So that meant from the time he woke up to, I think it was 8:30 in the morning, nothing was going on except written material. He was allowed to, this is what he made for himself, an agreement, read anything he wanted to, spend time and really connect with his wife and kids, because before he was feeling like his wife and him were becoming disconnected, and his kids weren't feeling like their needs were being met, and he could tell it in their behavior. And he started getting to spend more time in his garden. He's an avid gardener, and he never was making time for the things that make him happy outside of work.
Nice.
So yeah, he was restoring more balance just from that simple act of blocking out time that he was not available.
Gotta do it. You've got to block out the time, otherwise there will be always something to fill it. So he put an 8:30 a.m. I'll start my business day then kind of time, and anything else before that is him time. So great to spend time with his wife, his kids, the gardening. I love it. Schedule it and make a hard crack, hard limit. Yep.
Yeah, so that's one example, and I'll probably think of some more as I get into this part of the training here too. The boundary line between work and personal time can get really blurry, like I was saying, if you love what you do. So you still need to clearly define when enough is enough, when you won't, before you lose your health, right? Before your pants start to not fit anymore, before your husband or wife or partner or kids start telling you, you're on the phone all the time. Mom, Dad, how come you're not home in the evenings? I want to go have fun, but you never play anymore. So those are some good cues that maybe your boundaries are out of whack.
Yeah.
So this is what you can do about it. Like I said, you can choose when work starts and stops. If you're an entrepreneur, you need to do this.
Yeah.
Because nobody else is going to tell you to do this.
I did that. I decided, okay, start at 9. I treat my business kind of like a 9 to 5, but I don't get into, I like my start at 9. I like my stop at 5. If any texts come in, the phone is over there. It's away from me. Phone is on a desk, and I'm not answering anything. I'm not phone calling anyone. I'm not emailing things. It's done time. And the weekends, it's the same thing. I don't work on the weekends. If you email me, I'm not going to get back to you till Monday. And those are these, this is when I choose. Because otherwise, it just work, right? There's like a never-ending freaking to-do list.
And even if you're doing what you love, you can actually lose your motivation to do what you feel passionate about when you don't have boundaries. And you can react instead of respond when you're not feeling energized and refueled every day from healthy boundaries. So what I really highly suggest is that you choose one day per week when you actually don't work. It's not just that you're not checking emails and texts and stuff like that in the morning or evening. You actually don't check them all day long.
Yep.
This might be quite a stretch for some of you, but believe me, you are going to be so happy when you start. It's a big thing that my clients have chosen to commit to because I'm their coach, and they don't have to do anything that I suggest. But I've seen time and time again that when my clients do this, it transforms how they live and how they do business and who they show up as in life.
So true. I used to be, if anyone called, I would answer it. Today, I was getting ready for the webinar. I was sitting on my couch. My hair wasn't done. And I was like, poking through, doing some things. And the doorbell rang. And I was like, oh my God, I got the doorbell. Holy shit. And I was like, no, you don't. I didn't get the doorbell. My eyelashes aren't on. My makeup's not done. My hair is not done. I'm like, I'm not answering the doorbell. It's probably some kid, right, from the neighborhood. Not answering my doorbell. Leave me alone. But I had a second. I'm like, panic. The doorbell. And I was like, shut up. If it's important, they're going to come back and ring it again, right?
Yeah, it's like we have this trigger that we've developed inside because we've been habitual with always being available, always being on call. So you need to break that cycle and create a new cycle. And you don't need to be available all day long. Think about other experts out there. They are not available every single minute of the day. Another thing I would encourage you to implement is to create a day or chunk of time to use just for planning. Because just like when you delegate and you outsource and you hire people to help you out, to do tasks that aren't your specialty, when you create a day to plan, I take a day weekly that's more for planning than anything else. It's really important. You can look at your business from a helicopter perspective, or your organization from a helicopter perspective, and see so many different facets of it. See where you maybe need to shift your focus and what you're prioritizing. Otherwise, if you're working in your business all the time, you're swimming in everything instead of standing on the edge looking in. Super important to plan. So acknowledge the fact that there will be temporary feelings of lack. but they move you forward to be able to have future freedom. This is where faith comes in. It will take discipline and hard work and a lot of belief in yourself and in your company to stick with your boundaries, because you're not going to think, oh, this is going to be easy right now. This won't be a stretch right now. Yeah, it'll be uncomfortable for a little while, because what you want is lasting, consistent time freedom, more time off. So in order to do that, turn off and remove yourself from all your devices at certain times of the day, and don't give out your cell phone to just anybody. It would be more helpful to get a business phone service. You can make that go to an answering service that routes calls to you during normal business hours. This is how some people I know do it. And then, people will call you from all different parts in the world, depending on what your business structure looks like. And you could be getting calls at midnight, and nobody wants that. So the equation is delegation plus prioritizing plus boundary setting. That is going to give you massive, delightful time freedom, and it will increase your productivity for sure. So it will shortcut your learning curve when you implement this formula, and it will help you implement a proven system and plan that's worked for others. So I'm wondering how much time you all would like to take off. If you want to put that in the chat bar, how much time every day or every week or every year would you like to be consistently taking off? And I want you to dream right now. I want you to think this is your 10, your ideal picture of your life. How much time would you like to take off? You guys can share that in the chat bar. It's a time to dream. When nobody...
And we've also got a question here. Lisa's asking if you have a lot of pushback from clients when you suggest that they take a day off, a day free of their device. Do you have a lot of, you get a lot of
I think that was Mel, sorry?
That was Lisa.
Oh, Lisa, okay. Lisa, I never tell my clients that they have to, because nobody likes being told that they have to, and I want it always to be their own decision. But what I suggest they know has been proven. It's been proven to help so many other people that I work with, and myself included. So I think when you trust someone, then you're willing to take a risk, because you know that they're not lying to you, and they know it's worked for other people. So no, I actually haven't experienced a lot of resistance, because they're at least willing to try it out, right? So we talk about, well, let's try this for a month. See what it's like for a month to do this. Come back to me in a month and tell me what it's like. And if you don't want to continue, you don't have to.
Great question. So how much time off would you like?
And think about, this is your dream time. So think about when your productivity increases, because you're taking more time off. You're more energetic, you're thinking clearly, you're making decisions like nobody's business. What would improve in your business? How would things be working and flowing with more ease and simplicity? What might be happening in your personal life with your spouse or children? Like, how would you be parenting different if you're a parent? How might you look or feel differently because maybe your health is improving? So share some of those things in the chat box too. This is your ideal vision of your life at a 10. What would it look like when you have more time off and you're more productive? So share those with us too.
I'm going to share mine. Mine would be going to yoga retreats and spa days where you like take off for a week and no one gets to see me. Gone. Poof. That's my ideal. It's all about me. I'm at a retreat center. I get to eat yummy food and do journaling and connecting with people. Amy saying earlier workouts.
Yeah, I really like the idea of earlier workouts. Right now I work out at 9 in the morning. That's a bit late for me, so I'm going to see what I can shift there. Okay, so let's move forward. The people who take action, they get the results. This is time and time again what I see. If you do not take action, you're going to stay where you're at in life. So today I'm calling all entrepreneurs and leaders who are ready for a time freedom breakthrough. So did you just feel some excitement in your heart? Because I did. This is the opportunity for you to kiss your foggy brain goodbye, kiss tiredness and irritability goodbye. Don't need them. And you can trade it in for productivity and prosperity, for like a super exciting cohesiveness in the team that you work with. Trade it in for time to exercise and have peace of mind and meditate. Connect with God if you believe in God or someone greater than yourself. Spend more time with your family. Really laugh together. Get giddy. Be like a child again. I'm going to ask you a challenging question. What have you been waiting for? Have you been waiting for somebody else to give you the permission to live the life that is really exciting? Have you been waiting for the perfect timing? Because there is no such thing. With this formula, you're going to take more time off, you're going to decrease your stress levels, and you're going to get your energy and health back. You'll increase your productivity and the success of your business consistently. So I'm looking for some dream clients. I have 5 spaces open in my private coaching calendar. These are some of the other testimonials I've gotten from clients all over North America and in Canada. Their energy is increasing, their productivity is increasing, their business is growing, their time management has improved. It's awesome. So is this you? Is this something that, is this how you want your life to look like? Is this how you want to feel? So here's how the process works. This is for active business leaders who are currently doing business. So you're either selling products, services, you're a healthcare professional, maybe you're a consultant or a business owner. If you know your business or company can grow and you're willing to work to make that happen, because you're going to have to take action. Maybe you value helping others and contributing to the marketplace just as much or more than you value making money. That's who this is for. This is not for people who like to complain or make excuses, because I don't like working with people who do that. They just don't want to move forward. People who want to consistently find ways to play small. I play big, even though it's a bit scary sometimes or really scary sometimes. I play with people who like to play big. People who are perpetually in information gathering mode and they're not prepared to take action and get results. I've been there, so I can empathize with you. I have been an information junkie, but it gets you nowhere fast. This is also not for anyone who isn't serious about growing your business and creating more freedom in your lifestyle. So the better the fit, the better the results. That's why I showed you who this is for and who it's not for. So what I'm offering you is to have half an hour with me. Just one-to-one private laser breakthrough session. This is where we would uncover exactly what you want to work on, how to make that shift happen in the fastest time possible. There is a factor, and that's time, and it's also my availability. I'm only offering this half an hour with the first 10 people that respond during Vanessa's webinar, because I have a family and I don't want my life to be out of balance. So I don't want to give too much of my time away. I also have speaking engagements that take up my time. I also have my private coaching clients, and they're really important to me. So I don't want to take away from their time either. So if this is something that you know you want to shift in your life right now, you know you want to increase your productivity, you know you want to have more free time, you know your health needs a kickstart, you know it would be better if you weren't so stressed out and feeling worn out and your energy levels were low, and you know that it's time, then I would really encourage you to not wait and put this to the back just because of fear. Because fear will tell you blah, 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 and tell you the worst case scenarios. But if you listen to fear all your life, you will stay where you're at and you don't want to be there. So here's what to do next if you want to be one of those 10 people, is to apply for this strategy session now. You can apply at amyengelmark.com/breakthrough. So I just want to quickly mention again what it would look like. So it's a half an hour of my time with you. And I'm going to go through your business goals, your personal goals with a fine-toothed comb. So this is where I'm going to really, really give of myself to you. Everything that I've learned, all of my experience, I'm going to give as much of myself as I can to you so that you can have the breakthrough that you want in productivity, time, and health. Somebody asked earlier, and I just want to quickly answer, give you a few suggestions. There's a few questions. How to turn off your brain and relax. I think that was Kai at the beginning. I want to make you some suggestions for thought shifts that you could implement. One is that enough is enough. And, you know, you could start reading some books on neuroplasticity. One is Switch on Your Brain. I forget the name of the psychologist who wrote it, but she talks about how we can change our brain chemistry literally as we take control of our thoughts and create new neural pathways in our brain. So I would start saying to yourself that enough is enough, and that I will accomplish what I set my heart to. I will accomplish what I don't give up on. And Mel, I think you were mentioning how do you balance baby and business? Sometimes you just have to believe that I'm worth it. I'm not a bad parent. I'm actually a better parent when I set healthy boundaries so that I can feel good about myself and my health and get the things done in my business that are my highest priorities. And one thing that I've had to believe over the last several years is that hard work is worth it. Hard work pays off. So I hope that those shifts, mindset shifts, are helpful. And remember, if you want to be one of those 10 people, to sign up at amyengelmart.com/breakthrough. I hope that you are choosing to implement at least one of these strategies in your life this week. And I'm really, really thankful to be with you and that you took an hour of your day to be with Vanessa and I. It's been amazing. Thanks, Vanessa.
Yeah, you know, I want to just reach out here to everyone and thank you, Amy, for sharing all this amazing content, and ask you, you know, what was your biggest aha here from the training? What was one thing, one action step that you're going to implement in your business, or what's one big aha, you know, that you got from today's training? I got a ton. Lisa says the book's called Dr. Carolyn Leaf, Switch on Your Brain. Awesome. Thanks, Lisa. So I've got a lot of things, you know, delegation plus prioritizing plus boundaries equals a time freedom formula. You want to delegate and make sure that you prioritize between, you know, what's urgent versus what's important. I also really liked respond, you know, versus react. When the doorbell rings and the texts come in, you know, the emails, you respond, you choose when to start and end your business, and when you choose to work in your business, you know, what are the start times and end times? This is, you know, it may sound simplistic, but it's powerful. You know, some of the most powerful things I've learned are the simplest things. And it really is, like Amy says, implementing it. So I really, really love today's training. Thank you so much, Amy, for sharing. Candace says, mindset sets you into motion. That's for big aha from the training. And I'm so excited that you're all here joining us. Thank you, Amy, and thank you everyone for joining us on the 10K and 30-day live weekly webinar. It's my intention to share with you amazing bits of information, advice, inspiration to help you grow your business, to help you leverage it. Today, we really talked about time management and how to grow your business, and this is absolutely what needs to happen if you want to take your business, you want to take your success to the next level. You got to be on top of your priority list. You just have to be. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you all for being here. I would say this every week, but 90% of success is just showing up, whether you're watching this replay or if you're live. I absolutely love you. Thank you again, Amy. I'm going to give you a big kiss. Mwah. And, mwah. And thank you, everyone. And we will see you all here on next week's webinar. And if you are here and you're watching this webinar, I highly recommend you sign up to work with Amy. It's a super generous offer. 30 minutes of her time to go through your business with a fine-tooth comb. She is rock star at what she does and can help you put those systems in place to help you have more free time in your business, and then everyone's more happy. Awesome, guys. So thank you, everyone here chatting here on the chat. We've gone a little bit over the timeline, so I'm going to end the training, but I'll see you here next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.